So that's it. This is Nigeria right now. Action. Hello out there. This is Nigeria right now with Dixon Irewu. Today, of course, our guest is Honorable IBE Osonwa. He represents Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency here in the Green Chamber. We'll engage him. Come along with me. Honorable, finally we have gotten across to you. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Please,
done.
the hot seat. Once again, thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine.
We have sought to have you on the show.
Pleasure is all mine.
How is Nigeria treating you?
There is no different petrol station that I buy petrol from. There is no different market that I go to buy foodstuffs. So the country is what it is. It's difficult right now. Our people are not exactly living our best lives right now. Things are tough, and it's tough for everyone. What we hope is that in time things get better. We hope that the president's in power now. We have to support him, and we hope that his policies start to pay the dividends so our people stop suffering. There's so much hardship everywhere. So how am I doing? When my people cry, I cry. When my people hurt, I hurt.
That's the way it is. When your people hurt, you hurt. The angles that we came to discuss is how possibly from your perspective, we can get it better. As Nigerians are witnessing, though, like you have rightly confirmed, the hardship is real, but
It's real, it's real.
The year 2024 is gradually winding up, right? And we survived it. How is Christmas going to look like in Arochukwu and Ohafia?
It would be disingenuous for me not to talk about my birthday.
Your birthday?
My birthday is 24th of December.
Ah.
It's a milestone birthday for me. It's my golden jubilee. I'll be 50.
Wow. Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. So Christmas will be a birthday Christmas. But we'll try and make sure that we share and spread love to everyone, which is really what the spirit of Christmas is all about. It's supposed to be a season of giving. It's supposed to be a season of communal love. It's supposed to be a season where you show compassion to everyone. Ultimately, it's a season where you're celebrating the birth of our Savior. I am Christian, so obviously we'll do all the things that we're supposed to do. But we are also very mindful of the fact that things are difficult. Price of everything has trebled, some places quadrupled over a year. And our people are finding it very tough. We are hoping that this Christmas we'll have our usual influx of our people come back home so that we can commune with them again. We can see people that we have not seen all year round.
That is the Igbo tradition.
Yes.
But what about the issue of security? Beyond the issue of hardship, land and all of that, how would security look like?
So,
recently, Abba has been in the news for wrong
yes,
reasons.
even up to yesterday. Yesterday, there were shootings in my village. There were shootings in Ohafia. Last week, Monday, a police officer was killed in Ohafia. So the issue of security has to be looked into. When you talk about the issue of security in the southeast, then it is only wise that you talk about the elephant that is in the room. And the elephant in the room is Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi is my brother. First things first, it is always important to ascertain that Umuahia, Ibeku, Bende, Abba, we are one blood. So what affects one brother affects the other. And Nnamdi has been incarcerated without really a due trial to convict. Now, it is only right that he is left.
He is released.
Yes. The agitation is that the man be released. Let the Southeast deal with their issues at home.
But how would that be? Because the leaders from the Southeast, people like you, you've been there was that story out there at the time about how many members of the House of Representatives
for him to get released.
For political
yes, there has to be a political solution.
Well, how's that coming? Have you been able to get anything out of it?
It is trucking along. We are hoping we will get some dividend from it. We have a president that is magnanimous and he is a politician at heart.
Is he magnanimous? It's a year plus going to 2 years.
You can only approach a man and continue to talk to him about the issues and tell him the benefits, and that's all we can do as Ndi Igbo, Ndabia. We can only tell him the benefits of making sure that the man is released back to his family.
Because so that these people who are committing the crime,
let us differentiate between the people that are criminals and the people that are actually agitating. Now, I am very sure, and he himself has said it in several fora, that he is not pushing for all the violence happening in the Southeast is not from him, but it's being done in his name. Now, the
guy who is said to be behind it, Finland, in faraway Finland, there's Simon Ekpa now, who was the other time, I think last week, was said to have been arrested. And we thought, oh, okay, if the Nigerian government can now leverage on this,
then let them leave Nnamdi.
Call for the guy to be extradited to Nigeria, and then we'll now know who to focus on when it comes to the issue of terror that is going on in the
my own position remains Ndi Igbo, Wundudo. Igbo people are peaceful people in nature. All we want is to better our land. We have been left with a land, and we were left with 20 pounds, and with 20 pounds we built Igbo land. Now let them leave us. Let us continue to build our Igbo land in peace. We are a brotherhood clan. We believe in the love for one. So let them allow us talk to our one ourselves. Let them leave. Let us find a solution to this impasse. And like you have said, let us be able to separate simply Onyoshi.
Criminals.
And agitation. Who is looking for agitation? Let's separate it.
I agree with that. But that's not why we're here. We came to discuss our nation, Nigeria. Insecurity seems to be a national thing.
It's a national thing. It's happening in the
Southeast own has some peculiarity to it, especially with the incarceration of mass.
It's every single part has its own peculiarities. The Northeast has its peculiarities. The agitation in the South West has its own peculiarities. South has its own. Everyone has what they're dealing with.
Okay, this is your first time in the National Assembly.
Yes, sir.
Haven't stayed here for almost 2 years now.
A year plus.
A year plus. What is your view about the Nigerian nation?
Let's start from the outside view. I'm a very pan-Nigerian person, and my associations reflect that fully. I'm an Igbo man, married to a Yoruba woman.
Oh,
our best friend.
Yoruba.
Yes, and my best friend, one of my best friends in the world is a Hausa man.
Wow.
I have in-laws that are from Ogun State. I'm very well-rounded. I believe that our diversity is our biggest strength. If we are all the same, then we bring nothing different to the table, which means we cannot even serve ourselves. But if we are different in different ways, each person brings his own unique perspective, unique skills, unique attributes to the table. And when you mix that all up together, you get a whole array and variety of things. So our diversity should be our strength. There are people.
But is it?
There are people that would prefer that our diversity becomes our breaking points, whether we like it or not. One of the biggest tools that the Western nations used against us was divide and conquer. They divided the North and the South and used it to conquer us. We are all the same. When you walked into my office priorly to now, my friend that is from Kanu,
I saw
the house number is from Kanu, walked in.
Yeah.
If you look at the picture that is hanging on my table there, you see a northerner, you see a south, and my Abba brother. So for me, I don't see lines and colors. I see opportunity at every point in time. And that's how we should view life.
That's how it should be. But that's not our case.
Unfortunately, it is not the case. But remember that a greater proportion of us feel this way. What we have is a few people that do not understand it. Some of the people are rightly so aggrieved for past reasons. I'm from a generation that never saw the Civil War. So I have nothing to benchmark with. But there are people that are older than me that saw that war, that have grievances from what they saw. I shouldn't be listening to what someone told me. I'm old enough to have my own eyes and ears. And I make my own judgment and ideas from what I can see. And I see no reason why I should be fighting someone else because they fought my father's fathers or my brothers. No. That means we'll continue fighting forever. We need to find a way to move forward.
Yes. An eye for an eye, and everyone will go blind.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this tax reform bill seems to have exposed a lot more about the cleavages that divide Nigeria, isn't it? Because you see the northern Nigeria agitating for the northern Nigeria against this very bill. What's your view about this?
My view is that bill needs to be consulted on. It is very important that we make sure that the decision that is taken is the right decision. I have read the bill. I have one or two questions around it. I've spotted one or two, in my opinion, lacunas around that bill, but the general understanding and the principle of the bill seems to be in good faith. But when there are words that are ambiguous, then it has to be straightened out, which is what we as legislators will carry out to make sure that we straighten out those words so it is reflective of the view of the people. It is also very important that we take the bill back to our people. This bill is not for the House. It is for Nigeria. We represent Nigeria, but the Nigerian common man must understand that it is for them. And they have a right to speak their own opinions about
and make contributions. But not to kill the bill, is it?
So killing the bill will be killing you cannot throw away the water
and the bad water.
And the baby at the same time. It is not on. Let us find a way to work with the bill. But if it is to be forced through, it cannot be forced through. Everybody's voice must be heard. Growing up in the 80s, I remember a time where our National Orientation Agency worked overtime to make sure that information is passed adequately around and to the people. In the 80s, there was war against indiscipline. We all knew it. Do your things turn by turn. It was hammered into us from the National Orientation Agency. It seems as if that National Orientation Agency has lost its voice. I was at a retreat last week with a committee, and I said this same thing, that everything that the reporting agency is doing in the interest of the nation. But that is not the impression that the nation has about the agency. And I said again, the National Orientation Agency, in my opinion, is failing at this point. Send information out to the people. Sensitize our people. Go to the Northwest, go to the North Central, go to the Northeast. Carry to the south. Carry everybody along. Tell everybody the positives of the bill. So when they know you've told them what is coming in the bill, then they can also say, this part, you know, pay me or they Then everybody has a equal responsibility and contribution. Remember what you put your hand into.
Yes.
You will not want to allow it to fail.
Let's take a break and then we'll come back. Nigeria right now with Dixon Irebu. Today my guest is Honorable IBE Okwara Osonwa. He represents Arochukwu and Ohafia Federal Constituency here in the Green Chamber. We'll be right back.
I'm impressed with Nigeria right now with Dixon, and questions are incisive and designed to bring out facts from the guests. I think that our leaders at all levels are listening, and I pray that the contribution of this program will serve us in good stead as we build a better Nigeria for today and for generations to come.
Welcome right back. This is still Nigeria right now with Dixon Irebu, and my guest is still here, Honorable IBE Okwara Osonwa. Honorable, let us discuss politics. You represent LP. LP made it down here in 2023.
In numbers.
Yes.
In good numbers.
The P2P obedient movement tsunami came and all that. But how is Abia, now playing a different kind of politics? Because we witnessed the local government election that ZLP took everywhere. What's going on?
When an impasse in discussions are had, what wise leadership does is allow the people to take a decision. I am proud to say I come from Abia State. I'm proud to say my governor is Dr. Alex Otti. In fact, when I announced myself in the House, I said that my name is Okwara, Osonwa, and I represent the very prosperous people of Arochukwu, Ohafia Federal Constituency. I also make sure that I say that I come from the state that has the only performing governor in the federation. And I make sure I state that I come from Abia State. So I have a
you represent LOP.
And I am Labour Party to the core. If a house does not quarrel, then it is not a house. Everybody in the house cannot all be kumbaya.
Or even a family.
Now when I say a house, I mean a family.
Yeah.
Everybody cannot kumbaya all the time. Occasionally, siblings quarrel.
True.
It doesn't stop them from being siblings.
True.
It just makes everybody redefine their relationships, ascertain respect for each other, and build a stronger bond and unity together. We had a local government elections recently, and we allowed the people dictate. We didn't force anyone to a position. My governor never said everybody should go to ZLP. No. We just told our supporters. And remember that our supporters have been with us for a very long time. My governor ran the elections in 2015 under Abba. In 2019, I ran with him again under Abba. And then we transited and found ourselves at the end from the 2023 election at Labour Party. At every point in time when we have gone anywhere, we have gone with our people in numbers. Go and ask any Abia person. It is a movement.
All right, there's no commercial this thing here. You don't start singing the praise.
No, what I'm trying to make you understand is that there is a movement, and there has been a movement for more than 8 years, 10 years, almost a decade in this movement. So when you still have that same movement saying, Ndani, our people, where you want to go, go.
After all, it's the same state.
It's still the same state. All of us, we are still one household.
Yeah.
But because there is an impasse in the house, you allow everybody to take a decision.
So there is the reality of squabbling LPs is there, is real.
Again, I say, a household can have minor disagreements. There's no squabble. We are just agreeing to disagree on one or two things. But we are still a happy family. I'm still in the house with my brothers, Jinjo and Musibe. I'm still here with my brother, Amobi Oga.
Some have moved. Some
Abia State is intact. Nobody has gone anywhere.
I mean LP members.
I've not seen any LP member that has formally moved anywhere. There has been conjectures in the newspaper, but nothing has been done. You are telling me what I don't know yet. And as far as I know, our caucus still remains as solid as it is. Nobody has moved anywhere. Again, like I said, households are allowed to disagree, to agree, or agree to disagree.
But don't you think that your followers, Nigerians who followed LP as the new bride, the 2023, that relationship that they saw that, there was hope in this new party, Papa, Mama, and Pekin, and suddenly it appears that there's no difference between LP, PDP, APC, APGA, and all of them. After all, they are all Nigerians in those parties, isn't it? Including yours.
We are all Nigerians.
Yes.
We all fight for the betterment and the improvement of the lot of the Nigerian man. We have stood our course through our positioning. Our noise has been made in the house. We do not nod to everything. In fact, there's a colloquial joke in the house that calls me the chairman of the Motion Killers Association. If I don't agree, I will not agree. I am not a nodder for anything. However, in the interest of national politics and the building of Nigerian state, you have to always play the politics.
You compromise.
You have to compromise on some things. But as a caucus, the Labour Party caucus is strong. We have not shifted ground in any position for any reason. We are still on our fundamental belief that the lot of the Nigerian common man must be served.
Okay. 2025, we guess, will be a political engagement year, right? Because it's already playing out. The 2027 politics is already playing out. So one expects that 2025 will be more like the year that really
towards the end of the year, from the mid part of the year.
What's in your crystal ball? What can you see? What is the possibility of 2027 with the impression Peter will be made that your presidential candidate in 2023? What chances do you think he will have?
I think he still has those chances that he had in the last elections. He is well loved. His selling point is his integrity. His selling point is his humility. And that is what we all depict.
So do you see the possibility of maybe a merger or alliance with other political?
You know, I'm a small boy now. I don't know anything.
How can you be a small boy?
In all honesty, look, one thing you don't say is never to anything. But at this moment, we know that our movement is strong enough to go on its own journey. In our first excursion, we have 36 members, 3 senators, 4 senators. So, I mean, even 5. I think 5 even. I'm even reducing the number. But the truth of the matter is we had a very good excursion, being a party that came together on the election year and pulled it off. It shows you that the will of the people had been heard. We came here not on the back of what we know, but on the back of what the people wanted. The people wanted change. People wanted sincerity. The people wanted people that would speak what they are thinking.
People who will represent their interests.
And as much as possible, we are trying to do that. We haven't compromised in any position, at least I have not.
Okay. If the president of Nigeria today, who I believe from your view has not impressed your people, I guess.
Let's say it like this, that Ndi Igbo are Ndi Igbo. Whatever happens, we will survive.
Yeah, but it's Nigeria now that we're discussing. Ndi Igbo.
When you said my people are Igbo people, so I must always
refer. Are Nigerian people. And you're in the green chamber.
And they are Igbo people.
But the point I want to get is, are there areas you think that should the president be watching now, you could tell him
there are one
what
or two
to do or what suggestions?
There are 1 or 2 areas where you know that, look, the pain and strife of the people is very evident. I think we should find a way to stimulate our economy. I know the president is working towards that angle of stimulation of the economy, but I think a lot of intense efforts should be put into stimulating the economy. I think we should tackle the big ticket issues, because if we tackle the big ticket issues, then we are able to use those as a springboard towards improving our economic lot.
What's the big ticket issue?
In my opinion, the biggest ticket issue that exists in any climb is your power. In Nigeria, 60% of our cost of production is power. And when power is not constant, when power is epileptic, when power is even non-existent. I come from Ohafia. We haven't had light in going on 6 years now.
Wow, 6 years.
Sometime earlier this year, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company that serves us in the southeast flashed light for 2 seconds in my village. That's as much light as we've had for 2 seconds in the last 6 years.
So how are you guys coping?
Generators, solar panels. It's unfortunate. How do you boost production? How do you stimulate an economy where 60% of its revenue is spent on diesel? And this 60% I'm saying was before. Now, price of fuel and diesel has gone up.
True.
So we have to do another analysis to actually give you the current number of what it costs.
So for you, the aspect that they should be tackled urgently is the
power. If we have power, we encourage industry.
Yes, industry.
Not just, you can encourage industry.
Sure.
And once you can encourage industry, then the economic lot starts to improve. Now, I'll give you an example that I always give everyone. After the Second World War, the German government went around trying to stimulate the economy of the German nation. They went and they started in some places, they would break up roads that were perfectly well and fine and just start fixing it again. Now, that might seem like madness, but that is actually economic stimulus. Because what they've done, and let's use a layman's term, that road that is broken
will engage people
now
to work.
engage people that will work. The engagement of people that will work will bring other people that are selling will now come and sell. The woman that sold that food needed to go to the market to buy something. The person that is selling in the market needed to go to the farm.
Yeah.
So the farm feels. It's called trickle-down economics.
Yes, so it's unlike the feeding bottle economy that we adopted, where we spoon feed, we dash, we give people stipends.
Stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
Teach a man to fish
Yeah,
as
and not
opposed
give
to
them
giving
fish.
to fish. What we have been used to is giving fish rather than teaching to fish. There's a sense of fulfillment if someone earns the money.
I agree.
But as it stands today, you can't even oppose the giving of fish because
The hunger is real.
The hunger is real. Once you fix power, you have fixed a boost for the economy. The investor, FDIs that want to come in, will see that you have power. And let me tell you, the beauty of Nigeria is we have the numbers.
Yeah. The market.
We have the market, and we have the pool of human resource. And we are actually, in my opinion, some of the most intelligent people on earth.
I agree with that.
But what we have is a lack of the will to push the other. Everything knits together. Everything has to knit together.
So it falls back on the table of the leader. All of it that we're faced with is the leadership.
So the wonderful thing is that the current president has recognized that power is something. They are pushing power. Yes, I know we keep hearing the story of
investors coming in and
no,
all.
not just investors coming in. In recent time, I've heard too many. What have they say? The grid has fallen over.
Oh yes, the grid has collapsed severally.
But once we get to a position where things are steady, power is relatively constant. And it's shocking how it's such an issue, because in other neighboring states, their power is constant.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's difficult. I have my own personal opinions, which I might not be willing to share.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Nigeria right now with Dixon Irobo. Today, my guest is Honorable IBE Okwara Osonwa. He represents Arochukwu, Ohafia Federal Constituency here in the Green Chamber. And of course, having engaged him for these past few minutes here, this is my take. For us to industrialize our country, the Honorable here calls out the President to give special attention to the energy sector. Power is key if we must industrialize Nigeria. And if you're talking about the economy improving, then you cannot ignore that aspect. It is very, very key. When you talk about infrastructure, the key infrastructure that needs to be fixed, as he calls out the attention of the President, is the aspect of power. To imagine that a people in Nigeria, federal constituency in Nigeria, has not had light for 6 years plus. Mr. President, it calls for concern. And in this country, as we are discussing, everything good that is about our country, let us never forget the part of our national anthem that says that we may build a nation where no man is oppressed. I see you next week on this same show, Nigeria Right Now.